Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast. Hello there everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show Podcast. Yeah, you can maybe tell by the noise behind me, this is the World Championships Day 2 on the ground report. Now, if you were listening to last week's podcast, you would have got a full report from everything that happened on the Friday. Now, I did cut things short, however. As soon as the Grade 1 competition ended, then so did our coverage from on the ground. Yes. But all of the juvenile competition did roll on until, quite late on Friday. In fact, the results were given out around 8:30 p.m. Yikes. It was quite a long day. And considering I was in the park from about 7 a.m., I had to wave the white flag and I had to get back to the hotel and get something to eat and a bit of a rest because yesterday was quite intense. So, I have to say a full congratulations to all of our juvenile bands who yesterday really did thump a big tune. Of course, by now you've already heard the results, you know who has won what, and all of that. So all of that coverage, of course, is up there on the Big Rab Show, on our Facebook page, and of course on our YouTube channel as well. We hopefully have caught a few of those videos performances, and we also, we shared a little bit of a cheeky live stream of the results. Yeah, and I don't believe there was a live streamed results anywhere else, and that was quite a bit of confusion. But we managed to find one online, and we shared it with you on our Facebook page. Right, so that was the Friday. Day 2, here this Saturday. And I'm very aware that I haven't done our introductions yet. So let's do that. Well, if this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, then you're welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk. We reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the Great Highland Bagpipe and its people. And like every other podcast out there, we do have a Patreon. So if you would like to help support the show, you can go over there to Patreon, click on support, and be part of the Patreon faithful, where you will get loads of extras from our Pipe and Live shows, of course, the whole festival, and of course from right here at the World Championships. So that's the promotion out of the way. And of course, this week is a different show. We don't have any listener mail and we don't have any weekly drone because we're here in Glasgow this week. But you can always send them in to us. Our email address is always bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. And of course, weekly drone, go to our website, thebigrabshow.com, a big button at the top of the page, and you can let us know your own weekly drones, and we'll bring that to a future episode. Right, I am absolutely surrounded by bands right now, so let's get a little nosy around before we get into some other stories of the day. I'll have a little listen to the Cleland Memorial, I think. There you are. That was the Cleland Memorial. Just having a little warm up here behind the big Ferris wheel. Yeah. Alright, well, we do have more stories to tell, of course, from yesterday and from this morning, because quite a number of hours have passed before I've had the chance to pick up the recorder and talk to you guys. So, I'm going to take a little dander at this point. Yeah, we'll take a little short break, but we'll be right back after this. Right, folks, I want to tell you about a brilliant new app called MusoLink. It's from Matt Fraser, the same guy behind the B-flat tuner. And it's all about helping you track your music practice smarter. You can record your sessions using AI, add notes, get reports, and keep yourself accountable. But what really makes it stand out is the social side. It's like Strava for pipers. You can follow your mates, give them kudos, leave comments, and stay motivated together. Loads of bands are already on board, including Scots College, Hawthorne, and loads of others who are making big moves. So, if you're prepping for this year's World Championships or just want to get better, search for Musolink on the App Store now. And once you're there, why not give the Big Rab Show a follow, and we can push each other over the line. Do you wish piping could be fun again? Bagpipers around the world continue to struggle with their instrument, despite hours of hard work trying to get better. Bagpiping should be fulfilling. Your hard work should pay off, showing improvement and the freedom to express yourself musically. Or why do it? The Dojo University believe every piper should be able to free themselves from musical frustration, proven over more than a decade of successful teaching and accessible anywhere with an internet connection. The Dojo is unlike any other bagpipe learning experience in the world. Let the Dojo channel your enthusiasm into a fun and fulfilling program that will empower you with the knowledge to fall in love with piping all over again. So go to dojouniversity.com/Big Rab and take advantage of our 30-day free trial of Dojo Premium membership. Join the global community of students today and rediscover the fun of bagpiping. dojouniversity.com/Big Rab for a 30-day free trial. And we're back, and I'm in a bit of a quieter part of the park now. Yeah, next to the Greek gyro burgers and chips, salt and chili chicken, up the top of the hill, basically. Yeah, and the reason I'm giving you my location is because it's right beside the Grade 2 arena right now, yeah. And I think by the looks of things, is that Grampian Police? Yes, I think it is. Let's see if we can get a little introduction from them, and then we'll get into some stories from this morning, because it has been already quite an interesting morning. So yeah, let's get a little introduction for these.
Our National Gathering, Caberfane and John Morrison of Aston House.
There you go. I think I'll step away at this stage. Crowd here at the Grade 2 Arena is actually quite packed, so if you did get a bit of conversation there, I did what I could. But that was a bit of Grampian Police there. Great march playing there. Mr. Space swing in there. That's good. There you go. I'm not going to start singing into a microphone. But yeah, at the Grade 2 Arena, things have started really quite early because, of course, they have to play twice today, which is an added dynamic. Listen to that. Brilliant. But yes, the Grade 2 Arena here, quite packed. And that's the reason why I've come over this direction, is because quite a lot of action up here on the hill already this morning. Good number of bands warming up and getting ready. We have Tullylagan just over there to my left. Who have I got to my right? I think that's the Ulster Scottish. Is it? I think so. It is. Alright, let's have a little listen to them. Right, I did say I have some stories for you from this morning. Yes, yesterday, just quite late yesterday, new guidance was published about bringing in of food and drink for bands members. Now, it was kind of a similar story as last year. Remember last year where you weren't allowed to bring in bottles of water and things? Well, yeah, last year they revised that halfway through. And a similar situation for this year. Yeah, I don't know. Is that embarrassing or not? I don't know. Alright, let's get a little listen to the Ulster Scottish here, just warming up on the hill here. There you are. If anything, I just caught them just in time. That's the Ulster Scottish on their way to the line, actually. So yeah, I only just caught them in the nick of time. Alright, well, just over here, right beside the Ulster Scottish, actually, we have these signature bright yellow drums. The guys at North Stratton. Let's see what they're up to over here at the North Stratton. Okay, bit of North Stratton there. Oh, what a way to start the morning on the podcast. Wow, what about that? Just behind them here, actually, we have City of Edinburgh. Let's get a little listen to what they're up to. Sounding really strong there. What's going on with these bands this morning? They all hit their A game. Oh. Alright, City of Edinburgh, North Stratton, the Ulster Scottish. All quite busy up here. Let me see who else I can catch. you go. That's a little bit of LA Scots that I just happened to bump into. And just across from LA Scots, actually. Alright, I'm going to have a listen to them. Tullylagan. Yes, Tullylagan Grade 2. You're also warming up here on the hill. Let's get a little listen to Tullylagan. Band's just sort of warming up and getting ready for the big day. Yeah, there you go, Tullylagan. Right, speaking of Tullylagan, actually, that brings me on to my first story. Yeah, the number of people that have asked me, "Hey Rab, you're playing today, you're wearing a uniform. What's going on?" Yeah, I'm not skating about in my usual purple garb as I normally wear. Yeah, today I'm in uniform. And yeah, I was competing in Grade 4B this morning. Now, we had quite an awful draw time of 10 past 9 in the morning, and yeah, I think the venue where we were put at, the arena, was really tucked away. It's way on the other side of People's Palace, you know, that big glass house building, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. But yeah, we were way in the far side of that. In fact, there was people parking their cars. I'm wondering, hold on, there's a pipe band playing there. There's judges and clipboards, and just very strange. Very few actual spectators know that it's there. So yeah, there's a number of arenas that are really far away from the main action here in the actual green itself. So yeah, the use of space seems to have been a bit of an issue. There wasn't much of a final tuning area, because there wasn't one for Grade 4B. So that was a challenge this morning. I made all sorts of altercations with security staff, and that's a story for another day. But yeah, this morning itself, I managed to compete in my first World Championships as a piper. And yeah, a very proud moment for everyone in Tullylagan Band. And for a lot of them, this is their first ever Worlds. And yeah, for me, first Worlds as a piper, I'm very happy to have ticked that box. Now, we come off the line, Pipe Major was smiling, and so I think that's job done in that regard. So yeah, we have to wait now and find out whether we've qualified or not. But yeah, I decided, let's switch the recorder on and have podcast time. So yeah, since then I've been dandering around the park and saying hello to a few people, and yeah, doing what I can to catch up with everything that's been going on. So yeah, for everyone that's asked me, hold on, you're in uniform. Yes, I was actually competing today. So whether we will qualify or not remains to be seen. That's for the fellas in the clipboards to make up their mind who's worthy of going through to the final. I guess we'll wait and see. But that's what a lot of grades are doing today. You know, you have that chance to possibly crack it through to the final. And if your band did make it through to the final, genuinely, that's as good as a win right there. Sometimes qualifying to even be in the fight for the final, honestly, that is a huge win right there. So yeah, of course by now you will already know who has won what at the World, so all of that didn't make any sense. But yeah, if you're anyways in the fight in the final, then yes, that's a massive result, and well done to you. Right, yesterday I did talk about social media crews chasing after pipe bands, and today it seems to have been a huge influx of social media influencers. I don't know what's going on, but it does appear that the World Championships themselves actually have active partnerships with creators. Have you noticed this? Yeah, if you follow any sort of the big influencer types on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, you know, and they're normally trying to sell you makeup or the latest hairbrush or something, for example. Well, yeah, they've been invited along to the World Championships, and they're, hey guys, I'm here at the World Piping Championships, and this is brilliant. Look at all these bands. And then they film like 2 bands, and then they leave again. Has anybody else seen that? Now, thankfully, a lot of the partnerships that the Worlds has actually got together are actual people from the piping scene who have a genuine love of it. And I'm all for that, absolutely, because they have a real passion for the music, and a lot of their work has just been brilliant. But there has been those that are outside of the piping scene and have been invited along because they have a social media following. That's been a really interesting dynamic, that one, and I would love to know your opinions on it. What are your thoughts on influencers being invited to the Worlds. And if you haven't seen them, well, then you're quite lucky. I seen, who was it? There was a fella who was a Twitch streamer. Apparently it was a big deal. Now, I met the guy, shook his hand, took a photograph and everything. I honestly didn't know who he was. Because he didn't know Straspé from a reel. But apparently this is a thing now. The World Championships are reaching out to influencers. It's a very interesting dynamic, that. Yesterday I did wonder. A lot of pipe bands did seem to hire their own social media team. And yeah, there's even more social media crews on the ground here today. Lots of cameras, lots of microphones. It's been quite intense actually for some of the bands, having been surrounded by cameras as soon as they strike up. But yeah, the influencer thing, that's new. Anyway, I think, stories aside, we need to talk about the security staff who again have let their presence be felt. For anyone who's watched our live stream on our Facebook page this morning, I did a little brief live stream down in the Trader Village, and I try to encourage people to come down, visit the traders. Look, here's Maverick Chanters, here's Flam 5, here's Essentially Nuts, all these brilliant people that really have some incredible products, trying to encourage people down to the Trader Village to spend £1 or £2. And for those of you who watched the live stream in the morning, you will have seen a fella in an orange jacket, high-vis jacket, saying, "Going to switch that off." What? Is it, you're going to switch that off? Okay, alright. So I switched off the live stream. And very confused, didn't know what was going on. He explained to me that I didn't have permission to do that. And unfortunately I was a little bit smug. But yes, I did have permission to do that. And otherwise I wouldn't have done it. So yes, we switched our camera back on again. Apologies were received. And we were able to resume our live stream and pick up where we left off from the Trader Village. So yes, the security staff here have definitely, they've let their presence felt. You know, as they do every year. The security staff are definitely a topic for discussion on every Big Rab show. And if you have a story of the security staff here at the Worlds, we would love to hear it as well. Yeah, so email us in bigrabshow@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on the security here. Ooh, North Stratton are in the circle. Yes, that's them. Let's see if I can get a little note or two from North Stratton in the circle this morning. Stratton there, and I will sneak my way back out of the crowd again. What a run! Now I know I only heard the end of it there, but that seemed very controlled. Big sound, drum corps were clicking there too. Come on, North Stratton. That was something else. Well done. Right, I think it's time. I think I'll head somewhere else now. Yeah. Now, for those of you who are wondering why I haven't headed down to Grade 1 yet, well, come on, it's early, but I will certainly head that direction. Yeah, but if you do want to catch a lot of the Grade 1 action, you can go and check that out on last week's podcast. Yeah, all the action from the Friday. You can go and have a listen to that. There you are. So the LA Scots Pipe Band have just finished their run, and I've took a little walk across under the big tree, as it's affectionately known. Yeah, you know where the Grade 1 arena is? Well, yeah, just beside that is the massive big tree that everybody talks about. Now, believe it or not, I think there are a number of pipe tunes that are written about this big tree. Now, I think this tree does have a story to tell, because when you think about the amount of music festivals and like massive events that are held here, and they all work around this big tree. Now, I know that's a bit of a random topic to talk about on the show, but if anyone knows the story behind this tree, then let us know. Yeah, it's always been here beside the Grade 1 Arena, and it does act as quite a good point of shelter when you're kind of accosted by the blistering sun, which it has been yesterday. And today, it's still very grey and overcast, but very toasty. It's quite warm, actually. Yeah. So, I don't know, that's a random insert right there. But yeah, as much as everyone calls the big spiky thing the needle, everyone knows about the big tree. There you are, just an interesting one. If anyone has any ideas about the stories behind the big tree and why it's remained there for so long, yeah, email us in bigrabshow@gmail.com. Right, so as I step away from the Grade 2 arena, where there's a lot of action over there, it's a big grade this year, and a lot of bands playing twice, and it's going to be challenging, to say the least. Looking at Grade 1, they're going to be gearing up shortly, actually, so I can see a lot of action already and under the trees. So, after getting a little bit more of a listen to Grade 2 here, I will head down under the trees. But as I've said, if you do want to catch all that Grade 1 action from day 1, which is possibly the best day to see the Grade 1 bands, because you do get a little bit closer than usual with the crowd levels. Yeah, go and have a listen to last week's pod. Alright, I'm going to hang around here and get a little listen to Tully Lagan, who are about to hit the line. That's them on the way now. Anything, Tully Lagan have drawn quite a big crowd. Yikes. And that could be intimidating too. But here we are. Tully Lagan is heading to the line. So let's see if we can get an introduction from my own band in Grade 2, I guess. There you are. Do you know what? I was going to stay for just the introduction and then make my way, but no, ended up staying for the full set. I thought that was quite good there. Very good run there. Shout out to Tully Lagan. Okay, I know I'm biased. There you go. That was fun. Good to see our great two guys in there. Yeah, that was fun. Alright, let's move on. Time for me to see who else I can catch up with. Okay, well, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, sir, but there's a voice that's familiar to quite a number of people. Who am I standing with?
Phil Mayer.
How you going, Phil? You well?
I'm good, really good. Yeah, glad to be here.
Oh, this is Christmas for bagpiping, man, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
it is. This is fantastic, yeah. And in New Zealand I think New Zealand is emptied out because they're all walking past.
Yeah.
There's none left.
There's none left, exactly, yeah. So how have you found, I don't know, the Kiwis so far have been warming up? I don't know, this has been a big year for Kiwi bands. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, bands in different grades playing here, and
Yeah.
obviously Manawatu here, and we might get overrun here by this band. Yeah, so, and as New Zealand is smattered amongst other bands as well,
They are, yeah.
which is good for their education and good for us.
That's it, and certainly holding their own against a lot of the competition here, I feel, yeah. It's difficult to bring that sound so far, isn't it? But they certainly seem to have achieved that. Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, the standard's so good here, it's just a bit of a shock to a lot of us, you know. You go, oh my God, this is what we've got to achieve.
I don't know, like watching the Nationals, we're going, whoa, there's New Zealand guys there, we have to pull our socks up too.
Maybe not.
I don't know. So tell me about, well, the live stream element of the New Zealand Nationals. It's just fantastic to watch. How much work would go into presenting that?
Well, more and more every year, but they've spent quite a lot of money on the technical side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's not cheap. And
No,
so
of
they've committed themselves to publicising it by spending heaps of money. So
Yeah.
there's that side of it, and then they get an old amateur like me to front it, which is kind of funny. But they get a professional to do it with me, so that's good. Libby and this year it was Max.
Let's see,
Yeah.
there you go.
They're the pros.
Keep us all right. Yeah.
They're the pros.
Well, if anything, I am looking forward to the next Nationals and tuning in again. Yeah.
You should come.
Oh, mate, wouldn't that be,
Get on a
that's the dream
plane.
right
We
there.
have to come. We have to come this long way. You should do it.
I should return the favour, shouldn't I?
You should.
Yeah, instead of tuning in from my garage at home.
No, we'll treat you well. We'll treat you well. A winter in a garage in Northern Ireland or summer in New Zealand.
And is it-
What would you prefer?
That's a difficult choice there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phil, it's brilliant to catch up with you, mate. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day here
too,
in
Rab.
sunny Glasgow.
You
Thank
too, Rab.
Cheers. Well, do you know something? I didn't go too far because as soon as I switched the recorder off and went for a little walk, who did I bump into? Bagged Brig. Oh, I have to get a listen to them on the hill. Okay. Now, they weren't sounding like that at Rab Show Live. Wow, what a sound. Yeah. So for those of you who were there on the Thursday at Big Rab Show Live, of course, you would have heard Bagged Brig playing some party pieces and closing off our show for us. But that is all entirely different Bagged Brig from what I heard earlier. That's amazing. And that's them warming up on the hill here. Let me see if I can get another tune from the band here. there. Again, just moving air. Yeah. Yeah, blowing a big tone. Again, I don't know if that's coming across on the recording. That sounds amazing. Go. Just warming up on the hill there, setting a few drones. That sounded amazing there. Yeah, from listening to Brig on the hill, they certainly did draw a massive crowd. And that crowd has followed them down the hill into the Grade 2 arena. Yeah, best of luck back at Brig. Alright, so from listening here at Grade 2, I need to get elsewhere. I've been having too much fun hanging out here. If anything, looking at my watch, yeah, I've been hanging around here for an hour. So I need to move. Time to go and get some other grades other than just Grade 2. But, you know, I've told people this before, that if you were to hang out just at the Grade 2 arena, you would be thoroughly entertained with the music that's on offer. And, yeah, I've been thoroughly entertained. I don't want to leave, but I must. So, down the hill, let's have a listen to what's going on in Grade 1 right now. Yeah. I don't know, the crowds down here are just silly. You know, it's the morning and it should be quiet, but if anything, this place is rammed. So anyway, I know we always like to talk about crowd levels and everything, and no doubt we'll have already done that on our World's Wrap-Up show, but yeah, crowd levels. It's absolutely heaving with people. Alright, I'm going to get into the middle of it for you podcast listeners out there. So I'm heading down the hill now towards the trees to the Grade 1 final tuning area. And from what I can see, in final tuning is actually People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate. Yeah, so they're about to hit the line here in Grade 1, so looking forward to hearing them. Right, let's see who I can catch here under the trees. People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate there, warming up in the final tuning. I'm a little bit far away, it's difficult to hear, but it really is heaving with people down here. Yeah, this is the beauty of the Friday though. I mentioned this earlier, you can get a lot closer to the Grade 1 big guns on the Friday, because the Saturday, you have no chance. It's just absolutely packed with people, so you have to push your way through. So, apologies to anyone that I did manage to shove out the road there. Let's see. Inverarian District, they're just moving air again. behind me. Ooh, Police Scotland Fife Drum Corps. Yes, they had such a good day yesterday. Really enjoyed their performances. Let's have a listen to Police Scotland Fife drummers. Do you know what? That is something else. I'm sure the drummers listening right now will get an appreciation for that. That huge crescendo there. Whew, that was special. Yeah, the rise and fall with some drum corps, yeah, can be really dramatic. And there we go. That was something else. Really enjoyable. Alright, let's see who else I can manage to catch here. I think I can see Ravara off in the distance. And Manawatu are also kind of warming up here in the Trader Village, so I'm going to have to juke my way under a gazebo. And there's Simon Fraser. Hello, how you doing? Making their way into the park. Yeah, it's just a giant column of SFU walking through. There you go. Good morning. How you doing? Hi. Alright, let's see. Said good morning to all the SFU boys, just walking in through the gate there. Right, heading into the Trader Village. Ravara are playing a tune. Let's see if we can get a listen. There you go. Of course, as soon as I walk over, they hit the end of the road. Yeah. But as soon as Ravara has discovered Ravara, then just around the corner, Field Marshal Montgomery. Now this is in the heart of the Trader Village. Wow, they're actually practicing outside a chip van. Now, if you watched my live stream this morning, they're sandwiched between a chip van and the Flam 5 stand. So for anyone looking information on where FM Field Marshal warmed up for the Worlds on day 2, that's where they are. The drummers are cooking. Let's get a listen. A lot of drumming action this morning, and I've noticed just a little bit of tweaking and chanters here and there, and again, not any dramatic changes. You know, from pipe corps and these grade 1 big guns, it's just very calm and relaxed, and everyone's just having a bit of a chat in the circle. Yeah. Yeah, just setting tone there. Tuning drones, nothing dramatic changing there at all. There you go. Just taking readings on meters, that's all they're doing. And the drum corps having a little rattle. Oh, everyone's told to blow up. Are we going to get a tune? Probably not. Just moving air. Very quickly told to knock it on the head. Yeah, again, gamesmanship. Gamesmanship is a big thing, and especially playing in these warm conditions. So yeah, it's playing a part here again, even in day 2. Yeah. Alright, the Field Marshal Drum Corps drew quite a crowd. Fantastic. And you know, the only people that's finding them are those that are wandering down here to get something to eat, and then they go, oh, Field Marshal. So they're sitting chewing away through a burger while watching FM do their thing. There you go. Fantastic. Alright, let's fly on through the Trader Village to see who else I can find. Okay, I've got my ears plugged in. Well, I am here with someone that I'm sure a lot of you will know. Like to introduce yourself, sir. Who am I with?
My name's Alan and I am the owner and founder of Flam 5 Drumming.
Flam 5! Flam 5! Do you know, your brand has become so popular now with drummers. It really is quite iconic. How have you found the reaction?
Yeah, so obviously we're online, an online community, and we only get out twice a year really at the Scottish Championships and the Worlds. The Scottish boys, so we only get twice a year, so it's good to see all the community and just meet folk that you see online and speak to online.
There you go. Yeah, so actually meet people in person. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's obviously all the kids and all the juvenile bands, etc. They love the merchandise and stuff, so it's great to get out and see everyone rocking their Flam 5 gear and their hoodies and stuff. So
it's everywhere, even through Pipe and Live. The amount of drummers that was there rocking their Flam 5 stuff. Can I ask you then, where do you get your inspiration for your ideas? Some of the merch you've had is incredible.
Yeah, so obviously I quite like kind of like fashion and big brands, so kind of copy. If people who are in the know realise, maybe copying a few brands with the band practice and the kind of Flam 5 drumming club. So it's just online, and obviously you get your inspiration for all sorts of places. But
there you go. There you go. So I have to ask you then about the new pads, the new drum pads. We talked about this on our live stream this morning, but tell us about this new venture.
Yeah, so it's something I've been thinking about for a while. So basically we've got a drum pad, but there is room to basically adapt the current drum pad that we sell. So we've came out with, basically it's a custom vinyl. You can create your own idea. If it's a band logo, if it's a football team, basically you send your idea to me and I get it printed for you, and you can attach that to the pad yourself. So it just gives a bit of personalisation, and no one's really done that before, so I thought it'd be quite cool.
No, so that's it. So you can have a full core kitted out with their own logos and everything. That'd be smashing.
Yeah, that's what I said to you earlier. Obviously the bass drum skins now have changed over the years, and there's some really cool ones. So if a whole drum corps were using them at practices and stuff, that would look really cool. So that's the idea behind it.
Oh, that's it. And then also with the new generation of the Flam 5 case, there's so many people wants those at the moment as well.
Yeah, so unfortunately we are out of stock, so we're not selling any cases today. However, they will be in stock in 2 weeks' time. Just bad timing with everything that's going on.
It's been so popular, mate. They're just blowing off the shelves for you.
It's been really good. It's I love seeing to this day, like, been doing it for 4 or 5 years now, but even when I see somebody with a drum case, it's a good feeling, and it's good to see everyone using them.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, well, we're huge fans of your brand for sure. So for people who don't know about Flam 5, I don't know where you've been, but do you want to plug all your stuff? Where can people find you?
So basically flam5drumming.com everywhere, Flam 5 Drumming on the socials as well. So yeah, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and the website obviously.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, mate. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us. I'll let you get back to work here.
Cheers. Thank you.
There you go. That was brilliant to catch up with Flam 5 there. And yes, if you aren't aware of their brand, I don't know where you've been. I know I've said that already, but seriously, I think every drummer in the piping world is aware of Flam 5, and they're incredible merch. So yeah, great to catch up with them. Right, let's have a little wander, see who can see. Well, I'm standing with someone who needs no introduction. Camille Late. How are you, Camille? Are you well?
I'm really well, thanks, sir. I'm great to be back unexpectedly, a second year in a row at the Worlds. It's awesome.
I know. Like the last time I was talking to you, you were saying, oh, that's it, I'll never be back. This is a one-time thing. But you're here again.
I am. It's a very rare opportunity with the Warwick Thistlepipe Band. That's about 2 hours away from where I play in Brisbane. Came to perform in Piping Live. So we're not competing, we're just having a great time here today.
You get to enjoy yourself.
I do.
You scumbag. That's not fair.
It's been brilliant. Yeah, I get to watch everyone else stressed and nervous and themselves. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Oh, I've got a bleep machine, don't worry. That's good.
Good.
So, but the journey itself, we were talking to a few from New Zealand who talked about the sheer volume of miles involved. Like, people don't understand that. Like, how long did it take you to get here?
Yeah, door to door it was about 28 hours. So 26 flying, I know. Pretty wild, yeah, with all the transfers and everything else. So yeah, 17 hours for the first flight and 7 hours for the second one. So it's a bit of a mission, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's one thing I want to put across to our UK audience. Like, this is just another Saturday. I know it's the Worlds and it's the big one, but it's down the road for us. But for you guys, it's a serious trek, you know? So do you think then, I don't know, have you got the fire now to want to compete at any other World Championships now, do you think?
Absolutely. I think the world should come to Australia so you guys can come to us.
Love that. Yeah.
But no, definitely being here and feeling the atmosphere and everyone's excitement, it's just another level to what we have at home. It's awesome to be a part of it.
There you go. Well, I have to ask you then about the Australian Celtic women. You guys are really cooking at the minute. Tell us about some of your recent shows. They've been quite big.
Yeah, thanks, Rab. Yeah, it's been great. So I'm playing bagpipes as part of an all-female 7-piece folk group in Australia.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're called Australian Celtic Women. We've been performing up and down the east coast of Australia. We're looking to go international if any festival organisers are interested.
Shameless plug.
But so we performed at the Australian Celtic Festival in Glen Innes earlier this year. We've had performances in Brisbane. Standalone shows. We're coming up with playing in Stanthorpe. And we just played in Brisbane City Hall. So yeah, we've got about 5 or 6 gigs lined up for the rest of the year. So you can look us up online if you're in Brisbane and interested in coming along.
There you go. Well, I have to say, if you are interested in going, go early, because a lot of your shows sell out pretty quickly, don't they?
Yeah, they've been very popular. We're very lucky.
There seems to be a real hunger for that sort of music out there. Do you find that?
Definitely. I think there's a real love of Celtic music along the east coast of Australia. There's a lot of sort of expat Irish and expat Scottish and a lot of people who are from the diaspora of Celtic. So yeah, I'm a descendant. I've got plenty of family and friends who are as well, and we all love the music. So yeah, it's definitely an appetite for it where I'm from.
Oh, big time. And you've been introducing me to a lot of that new music, and thank you for that.
Absolutely.
But as a Highland bagpiper, is it difficult to play right next to someone playing a harp?
Absolutely. In fact, the pipes and harp don't play very well together, so we don't do too many of those duets, unfortunately. But it's been another world learning to play B-flat chanters and doing all of that tuning and everything as well, though. So that's been a real pleasure for the last year or so, learning how to do that really well. So yeah, no, it's great. I love it.
I bet it's fun though.
Yeah,
you know, it's not your usual MSR hornpipe jig.
That's it. It mixes it up a bit. It's funny. Like, it gives you a different love and a different angle and different respect for Celtic music, and actually brings back a lot of the fun. Pipe band music can be so regimental. It's nice to be a little bit more sort of jammy and playing with other musicians. So yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Well, if you've seen any of the clips from Rab Show Live, that was good crack.
Yeah,
there was no one there with a clipboard. Thank God too.
I know. Yeah, as soon as the clipboard comes out, your heart rate goes up by about 100 beats a minute.
It does, yeah. So what does the rest of the day hold for yourself? Just hanging out?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a bit of a type A person, so I've got a list and people I want to see. So I'm going to be madly running around the green trying to catch all of my friends and see all the bands I want to see. But yeah, it's such a cool day. It's just so cool to have so much going on all the time and heaps to see and do.
That's the biggest problem with today though, is that there is so much going on.
Absolutely. Actually, I've got a friend who's playing at the same time as the Inverary medley, which I really want to see both of them. So now I've got Sophie's Choice to try and figure out which one I want to bloody go and watch. So.
My goodness. Well, Camille, I'll let you go. It's brilliant to see you again.
Great to see you, Rab. No, great to catch up. Thank you.
There you go. Do you know, that's one thing about the World Championships, is that you bump into old friends. You know, you might not see them but once a year at the Worlds. Weird that. And you know, with Camille coming all the way from Brisbane in Australia to be right here in Glasgow, I don't know, it melts my head, the distances that people go to just to be here at the World Championship. It tells you just how important this event is. And sometimes I think that kind of gets lost for us folk in the UK who, again, I mentioned it earlier, that is just another day. But no, this is possibly the biggest day in the piping calendar. And to put that across, to tell you the story of the dedication it takes to travel those thousands of miles just to play for 3.5 minutes in some cases. It's crazy, isn't it? But it's a fun kind of crazy. Alright, let's head in under the trees here, away from the Trader Village. I'm going to have a look and see what's happening in the Drum Major arena and see if I can catch up with anybody.
Listen up! Drum Majors! Drum Majors, Jan! Get ready! On the roll! By the right! Quick! March!
The band you're hearing there, that's the Mac Cals, Mackenzie Caledonia, playing a 6/8 for our drum majors. And who happened to be following the Mac Cals? Davey, what about you?
All right, Rob, how's it going?
The best. So this is always a point where bands, I don't know, they can't be bothered doing this.
Very much so. When you've been playing in your competition, and then you see the director, and you're like, oh, drum major again.
And you're like, oh no,
Exactly.
we're getting pulled for drum majors.
Exactly.
But the band was sounding really well.
Definitely been working all season, improving the sound and the playing, and hopefully it's enough today to get us qualified.
Well, that's it too. A battle on their hands, I'm sure, yeah. But what about yourself? How are you keeping?
Yeah, keeping well. Nice season not playing, so
Yeah.
been looking after the band and other bits and pieces, which folk will find out later.
See, I was going to ask you about that. What have you been up to? Because you're always doing something.
Yeah, keeping very busy with a couple of books and another couple of projects, but more on that later on.
Davey, I love to hear it, mate. Well, I'll let the Mac Cals continue. They're going to be here for a while. It's a big length here for the drum majors today.
Yeah, it's always a huge pool of drum majors for the world. It's nice to see more drum majors than the minors, but we'll see.
That's true. Well, Davey, good to chat to you, mate. Thank you. All right. There you go. That's a bit of Davey Hunter there. And the folks at the Mackenzie Caledonia there. Sounding really well. So I think that's one of the adult drum major heats, actually, looking at that are putting in the links. So, yeah. I think looking at the size of the arena for the drum majors, it's definitely larger from previous years. So that's what I'm saying earlier about there's quite a length to cover. Yeah, quite a number of flourishes to bring into that as well as keep your M&D in check for that good length of time. Not easy. So yeah, as much as I didn't get a chance to talk to any drum majors, but they're all furiously in competition mode right there. So a lot of them very focused. Well, best wishes to them. And the Mac Cals are still going. Time for me to have a dander up the hill though and see who else I can catch. Well, I'm still down here with the drum majors. Yeah, and you might hear behind me, that's the last of the adult heats. So I kind of just hung around here for a good part of the early morning, I guess. Well, I got a text message to my phone to tell me, Rab, you need to be at the Needle for 1 p.m. to find out the qualifying results for Grade 4B. So, well, looking at my watch right now, it's about 22. So, yeah, I'm going to head that direction. So, if this podcast is cut short, then perhaps I might have qualified and I need to play again. But if the podcast continues, then you know I wouldn't have qualified, but I'm sure I'll tell you anyway. Alright. Well, I'm back, and a bit of time has passed since I was last talking to you. Now, last I was saying is that this podcast might get cut short because, yeah, I had to go and find out about the qualifying results. Of course, by now, you already know the qualifying results. And, alright, I'll be honest. It took me a period of time to actually catch my breath. I can't believe that the band actually qualified for the final. Now, that's not lost on me. It's something else. It's such a huge achievement, even to make it through to the final. And not just in Grade 4B for our band in Tullylagan, of course, but for every other band and all of the other qualifying groups and all the different grades. And yeah, to make it through to the second stage on the day is a massive deal. The amount of people that were standing around the Needle there looking at the whiteboards, yeah, some were absolutely heartbroken. There was tears, people hugging, and there was other people who were just so jubilant that they didn't know what to say. Shouting, cheering, hugging people. Just an amazing moment. So, right now, I'm heading back to the band gazebo to go and get my pipes again, to go and play this afternoon. My day's not done. So, yeah, I will do my best to catch up with you again for even more content on the show, but for now, I'm afraid I have to put the recorder back in the pipe box. Yeah, so for now, it's time for me to get a big cup of tea. It's time for the topic of the week. Ready to take your playing to the next level? Say hello to the ES Session Chanter, the ultimate practice chanter designed for versatility and durability. Crafted from stainless steel and aluminium, the chanter comes equipped for both an A stem and a B flat stem, giving you the freedom to play along with any instrument, anytime, anywhere. Whether at a band practice or a trad session, the ES Session Chanter keeps pace with your creativity. Included with the chanter is the custom carbon carry case, the perfect addition to this compact and tactile instrument. To get yours, head to essessionchanter.co.uk. Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band supplies for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Gilly Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also shipping worldwide. So stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs. And that was Tullylagan Pipe Band in the circle. Now, I've got a bit of a story to tell as to what happened to me this afternoon. Yeah, now, I don't know, we were warming up this afternoon, band again, playing really well. However, I was not playing very well. In fact, the more we continued to play, the worse I got. I don't know what it was. It certainly wasn't nerves. I was more filled with adrenaline more than anything else. Just stoked to have qualified for the final, but yeah, I think the stamina just was not there. So, as a result, I withdrew myself from the competition. And yeah, that's something we can maybe talk about on a future show. But yeah, I decided to step aside. I knew myself that it just wasn't going right for me. And no matter what I was doing, blowing wise, playing wise, it just was not clicking for me. And rather than go into the circle and possibly make a whole hash of it, I decided, here, step back, take one for the team. Yes, I would have absolutely loved to have been in the circle with everyone in the final, but I think for all intents and purposes it was better that I wasn't in there. The band could hopefully play a lot cleaner with a lot sweeter sound. So yeah, when people ask me, how did you play this afternoon, did you enjoy it? I said, well, I didn't play this afternoon. So there you are, podcast listeners, the reality of pipe bands. Now, for anyone before you start rumours, did I get the tap on the shoulder? Absolutely not. If anything, the pipe major and the tutors of the band were actually a little bit aggrieved, thinking, oh, come on, Rab, you can hang in there and, and keep her going. But I just knew in myself that I just did not have the fuel in the fire to be able to push air through that instrument and make it sound how I wanted to sound. So, I don't know. Maybe it's me being a little bit of a perfectionist, but I didn't want to go in there and give it half of my best. But hey, the band went in, played a good run as you heard there, quite steady, and that was fun. And yes, I know this seems to be quite Tullylagan centric, but yeah, that's the story of my day, and that's what these on the ground reports are. Yeah, I've been dandering around here, catching a bit of the action of Grade 2, a few bands here and there at the drum majors, and then yeah, I got the shock of my life being qualified for the final. That's a big thing, and I'm really glad I was able to share it with you guys. And I did want to level with you and tell you the truth of the journey, and that my journey ended with the qualifying in the morning. I stood outside, was able to watch the band in the circle, and then applaud them coming off the circle. Hey, it's one of those things. Now we're waiting for the all-important march past and results and everything, and as you guessed, I now have the recorder back in my hand again. So, time for me to take another little dander away from the Grade 4B arena, which is now fallen quiet. Time for me to head in to the middle of the action and see what else I can get for you here in the pod. Okay, once more into the fray, my friends. Isn't that what they say? I don't know, I thought it was going to be a day of two halves, competing in the morning and then relaxing in the afternoon, but as it turns out, it's a day of three halves, if that makes any sense. After finishing competing, now I'm back into the middle of the action again. I think hitting the line here on Grade 2 is St. Joseph's. Am I right? That looks like St. Joseph's. Yes, it is. There's Tim Farley. Yep, it's St. Joseph's. So let's see if we can get a little listen to them then, shall we? are. St Joseph's from Clondalkin. Not a bad run there. I'm standing next to Camille. He's going to give me some running commentary. What did you think of that, Camille?
It was bloody brilliant. Tone was great.
Not bad. But here we're standing in the blazing sunshine down here.
It's pretty warm.
That wouldn't be easy to play in that.
Oh, I don't know how you guys are out here in your pipe band uniforms. We have it hard enough in the Australian sun, but I feel like this is a little bit worse. It's only meant to be 24 degrees, but it feels like about 40.
It's crazy at the moment right now. Yeah. That was a good run. There you go. Fair play to them. And now they're going to march all the way back to the beer town for a pint. Yeah. All right. Let's see who else we can catch here in the pod. There you are. Bit of Glasgow Skies medley in the circle there. I don't know if this is going to be a grade 2 podcast today, but that was certainly a lot of fun to listen to. Fair play to the Sky, a big run there. Okay, so I have stepped away from the grade 2 arena because I'm sure I'm going to get some cheeky emails from people saying, Rab, that was the grade 2 show and last week was the grade 1 show. Now, I know I'm going to get that, but folks, again, I said it earlier, this is my experience on the grass, and the grade 2 arena actually quite close to where I was competing, so yeah, I did venture down into grade 1 where FM and that were warming up, I guess. So what's happening right now is I'm seeing Glasgow Sky getting a photograph taken here. Yes, and those beautiful drums, by the way. Shout out to Premier Percussion, they look really good. Yeah, and that's happening a lot today. I'm noticing a lot of bands are seeing this as the occasion that it is and getting opportunities for photos and videos and things. It's great to see. And as I mentioned before, their social media team following them around and yeah, just grabbing bits of content whenever they can. So I expect after this year's World Championships that all of our social media profiles will be absolutely crammed with piping content. And I'm all for it. Yeah. Alright, now looking over to my left, who is this? I can't really see him too far away. There is a band preparing, getting ready for grade 2. I can see, I think that's Manawatu that's in the circle, thumping out their medley on the Saturday. Good stuff. It's a shame I didn't get down to see any of grade 1 really today, so that's on me. And if anyone does have any complaints, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Alright, let me see who is this tuning up on the hill. Colburn, IOR. Let's get a listen. Just warming up in the sunshine here, getting ready to head into the arena. Sounding really well there. That was good. Good stuff. Alright. Now, I'm sure by now I mentioned yesterday the cheap seats in grade 1. Well, it's now not so much the cheap seats, but the cheap hill. The entire hill. Here. Listen to that cheer. Yeah. Here at the World Championships is just crammed with people. I have never seen a turnout for a Worlds like it. Apart from when it was nearly 30 something degrees. I'm sure everybody remembers that Worlds. Yikes, that was a scorcher. And today is no different. The temperatures are really high right now. It's roasting. If anything, as we mentioned earlier, we did see some players that were struggling to cope with playing in such high temperatures. And yeah, that's definitely been a challenge of the day. And unfortunately, I'm not going to name the bands, but I have heard some bands that have overblown. Yes, that does happen. Whenever you need to get that final little tune in, try and get the pipes to pitch, and then before you know it, they're there, and then they go over the mountain, and it's very difficult to climb back. Anyway, it's difficult, and pipe band tactics is something we can maybe discuss in a further podcast, and I think one of the biggest parts of it is handling the elements. It's definitely one of the biggest challenges. You know, the likes of pipe majors like Richard Parks or Terry Lee and all these guys, I think they could be weather forecasters, you know, because they really watch the weather extremely closely when preparing for any contest. A lot of these grade 1 bands just watch the weather continuously, and that's what I've noticed, especially this weekend. Alright, I'm going to have a wander closer to the grade 1 ring to see if I can at least get a note or two of grade 1 action today. I did get some earlier, but let me see who's in final tuning now. Oh, it's Shots. Oh, I have to get a listen to this. Now, again, similar to Simon Fraser yesterday, they've split into two groups. Pipers in one end of the tuning park and drummers in the other. Alright, let's see if I can get a tune here from the pipers. Okay, just some last minute adjustments, nothing too frantic. A little bit of drone tweaking, I guess is the word I want to use. They're hardly even moving them. And they've just brought the drummers up here to join them, so I think they're getting ready. Stuart's talking to them. Yeah, they're forming ranks. Alright, will we get a march up to the line from shots? Taking a little while to get the formation together here. Alright. Will we get a march to the line tune from shots? Just like that, the signal. Let's go. Just like that, shots are now away to the line. Oh, it's exciting. See this moment now? That walk up to the line that they're doing? I've been told that is when the nerves kick in. Yep, there you go. Fair play to them. Good luck to shots. Well, at this point in proceedings, shots are just about to hit their intro on grade 1. I don't know if you can hear from here. No, I'm way too far away. But there you go, they've hit their opening E and it's underway. And into the final tuning goes Police Scotland Fife. And then I think we have Johnstone here also warming up in the sunshine. Yeah, the crowds here are incredible. And I am not going to get anywhere near that grade 1 action. Apologies. But yeah, for those of you who are watching on the live stream, you've probably seen way more bands than I have here today. And that's one of the dynamics, I suppose, of visiting the World Championships, that for people who are actually here on the ground, there is so much other distractions to pull you away from that grade 1 arena. You know, all the stalls and vendors and people that you can visit and talk to, not forgetting the drum majors and all of the other lower grade action. There's so much involved in a World Championship that sometimes you just physically can't get round it all, and as a result sometimes you end up missing a lot of it. So yeah, in my experience today, I did end up missing a lot of it because I was competing. Yeah. But I have to say, before we do wrap things up with the pods, and yeah, we're going to be doing our march past and results, of course. Well, I have to say a massive thank you to everyone who listens to the pod. I cannot believe for the life of me how many people tune in each week to the Big Rab Show. And yeah, a lot of the words of thanks and shaking hands and selfies that I've took today it's so, I don't know, it's really heartwarming to know that people actually listen to this. Thank you everyone who took time to stop and say hi and grab a selfie, of course, all of that good stuff. It's just been brilliant to hang out with you all. So thank you so much. Alright, I believe we're going to be building to something quite special here at the Jim Kilpatrick tent. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a wee second, but let me head that direction and we'll talk about it a little. Yeah, we'll find out what's happening. Alright, so who am I standing with? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Becky Ware and I play with Scottish Power.
Now, it would be fair to say that you do play with Scottish Power, but you're not actually from Scotland, are you? Whereabouts are you from?
No, so I'm from New Zealand, from Christchurch, yeah.
Shout out to the Kiwis. There you go. So how have you enjoyed your time with Scottish Power?
Oh, I'm loving it. So it's my second season. So last year I had the amazing opportunity to come over for 3 months. So I was with them for most of the season. And now I've been here for 4.5 weeks. So a little bit much shorter season this time, but no, I've loved it. It's a great band to play with.
And how does Scotland compare to New Zealand? How do you find any differences?
There's a few differences. I mean, accents for one.
There you go. Yeah.
But I mean, the weather has been very much like a summer back at home. Like it's been great.
What is this, by the way?
Yeah.
This is not Scottish weather. Yeah.
No, it's been the weather's like pretty close to home sometimes as well.
There you go. Yeah. So how long have you been playing then? Snare drumming. Yeah.
Oh, that's going back now. I think I was about 9 or 10, so I want to say I've been playing for about 13, 14 years.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
And so it started out locally then?
Yeah. So I was born in Wellington originally, which is like the capital city of New Zealand, and started with the Red Hackle pipe band. And
shout out to the Red Hackle.
Yeah, just playing in the street march, and then got the opportunity to move to Christchurch. So the whole family moved to Christchurch because I got a scholarship to the St Andrews College.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I got a pipe band scholarship there.
Wow.
Went through all 5 years through the B band and then into the A band.
Yeah.
And then at the moment I've got a wee band back at home, so I play with some of the leading drummer for Metro Scottish. That's just been announced. We've just gone to grade 3, and I also play with Manawatu Scottish grade 1 back at home.
I remember reading the regradings there just a few days ago. Congratulations, So, well, the reason I'm chatting to you is 'cause something quite special is going to happen here at the Jim Kilpatrick tent. Can you give us any kind of a preview? What's going on?
So I'm part of that. So we're the Chicas.
Chicas. I love this title. By the way. It's brilliant.
So it's like a bunch of all-female drummers, tenor drummers coming together just to have a wee tune. We
love that.
Together. Yeah.
And do you know something? You've got merch already. I see a T-shirt back there.
Yep, we've all got the T-shirts.
I've got to get a Chicas T-shirt. That's brilliant. So looking forward to, I don't know, even more playing in the future. Obviously you're finished now for today at the Worlds.
Today.
Any other future plans?
I would love to do. So in New Zealand you can do like a 3-year visa to come to the UK. Right. So I'm definitely thinking about that at some point in the next few years.
There you go. So you'll be part of the furniture now. Yeah. Drinking iron brew like a local.
I know. Yeah.
There you are. But hey, thanks so much for chatting with me, and I can't wait to see the Chicas. Yeah. Thanks so much for chatting.
Thanks so much for having us.
So Rachel, you knew rightly I was going to come down here. Tell me what's happening. What is the Chicas?
So today we have the group The Chicas, and it is made up of all female snare and tenor drummers, and we are going to be playing the fanfare, and essentially it is to showcase female snare and tenor drummers. Yeah. You know, because typically it's described as a male dominant instrument. So it's just to try and showcase the women in pipe bands. And
you can definitely thump a tune, in my opinion. I agree. This is fantastic. So who all have you got involved? I suppose drawn from all different bands?
Yeah, it's from all different bands, all different grades, and we're hoping to, you know, if we can kind of do this, we are hoping to expand it. You know, we have got a good number of players, but we want to keep going, and we want to try and showcase everyone. That's essentially what we're trying to do.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm sure you're aware of the Shots concert that took place this past week and the 7% that happened. Well, this is kind of like that in a way, but you're drawing from all grades, not just grade 1.
Yeah, exactly. I know it is kind of funny because we seen that, and it was kind of funny. I think we've all had the same idea, which is awesome. We're all thinking about this right now.
Yeah.
And seen that Shots done it, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. And obviously we're doing a similar sort of thing. So it's good that we're all kind of.
But you can't let the Pipers have all the fun, Rachel.
No, you can't. You can't always let them have all the fun.
Definitely not. No. So how's your Worlds been? It's been quite a busy weekend for yourselves here at the tent. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. It's been a really, really busy weekend. Obviously, we've got the stall up here in the main arena.
Yeah.
So that's been really beneficial for us. We get to see a lot more people as opposed to being down the bottom before.
Aye.
So it's really great. We've got everyone playing on our brand new mirrored Pro pads.
See that? Everyone's having a batter here.
Yeah. No, I think people are enjoying it, which is the main thing. So that's what we want. We want everyone to have a go and have fun.
Do you know what I'm loving? I'm loving seeing youngsters coming over. Can I try?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. No, we did have a really young boy. He must have been about 2 or under. He came over with his little drum and he was playing for us. So we've got a nice video of that. We'll try and post that on our social media.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. Well, if anything, these pads are going to be well played in by the end of the day.
Yes, definitely. I think they'll be our show pads for sure.
Yeah, that's it for sure. Well, here, I'm looking forward to hearing the Chicas. Thanks a million, Rachel, for chatting with me.
Thank you. Cheers.
So, I'm standing with one of the actual Chicas. Yeah, we've talked to a couple already, but I'm joined by Kate. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good. I'm having a great day.
Obviously you're championing the brand new harness. How have sales been since we were last talking to you? Things have been going really well.
Things have been going really well. Yeah, I've had sales. I actually sold a couple harnesses just this weekend.
Oh wow!
And
there you go.
I've got some sales off to Australia coming up. I have to ship them when I get home, and it's very exciting.
Continuing to go. Yeah, that's brilliant. So I believe you've kind of just been dragged into this.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was just asking Jim Kilpatrick when this is happening, this fanfare, so that I could plan to record it.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, well, you should be in it. And so I said, I don't have a drum. And then I realized that I could acquire one. And so I borrowed one from the LA Scots. And
shout out
here
to
I am
LA
with
Scots.
the drum.
There you are.
Yeah.
So you're going to be in there now. No pressure.
No pressure. I will do my best to play extremely well.
But here, I'm looking forward to it, yeah. So, again, do you want to give it a plug? Go on. If people are interested in getting a KA tenor, or is it K-tenor?
I say K-tenor, but if you're saying it makes me happy, even if you're saying it slightly differently. It's your accent, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
what's
so
the
you
website?
can. The easiest one is katedudek.com, which is takes you right to my store. But there's also, that's probably your best bet. And you can follow me on socials. I'm mostly at Kate Dudek Drumming.
There you go. Go and check it out and grab a harness. These things are
so
brilliant. Yeah. Thanks a million, Kate, and good luck for this.
Thank you, Rab. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go. That was a bit of fun, hanging out with the Chicas, and a great drum salute there. And you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops. As Rachel was saying there, they have plans for more of this in the future. So as we hear more details of that, we'll certainly let you folks know. But yeah, hopefully we will have some really pretty great videos from that as well. So if you are interested as to what that looked like, it's quite spectacular. Backsticking and all sorts. Oh, it was brilliant. So yeah, shout out to the Chicas. What a brilliant venture. And hey, we're all for it. All right. Time for us to finally go and get ready for the March Past. Yeah, of course by now you already know the results, but yeah, I have to go and grab my pipes and then head into the March Past and then hear who's won what. Right, let's get into the end of Worlds Day 2. Kyle, this was your first Worlds, wasn't it? With Tullylagan, how did you find it?
Oh, it was great crack now, you know, to be fair. It's a great experience. Just didn't expect there to be so many bands.
Well, there you go. And well, first World Championships, pipe in and qualified for the final. That's kind of unheard of. Doesn't happen often.
Well, all we can do is hope now, but it was fantastic to qualify for sure. You know, it's first Worlds, wasn't really expecting it, so.
No, well there you go, exactly. Now I just kind of stuck a mic in your face there. But it's been a good season with the band. We've had fun in Tullylagan, haven't we?
Oh yeah, for sure. Finishing top 12 out of 50 bands, and we've had a fantastic season. You know, we've been the prizes nearly every competition, so
that's it.
Fantastic.
But it's been fun. Yeah, so now we're about to head into the March Past now, and everyone listening right now will probably already know the results as you're listening. So yeah, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thank you all for downloading this week and each and every week. And don't forget, you can check out all of our stuff on our Facebook page, our Patreon, all that there. You can go and check out all of it. Right, I'm away to go and start the March Past, and hey, you never know. There might be a Ribena or 3 in the bar in the hotel on the way home. Thank you all for listening this week, and we'll see you all in the next one. All the best. Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.